Ready? Okay. Let's call the meeting for tonight for the planning and zoning. And the first thing that we need to do is we need to approve the minutes of the last meeting, October the 25th. Okay, have a motion.
A second.
And a second. I guess we have to roll call vote.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Okay. I don't know that we don't have any visitors or guests. Is there anybody on Zoom? Okay. Okay. And we don't have any unfinished business, so we'll go right into the new business. And the first item that we have is the final plat for the River Point Phase 2 subdivision. Owner, Warlock Family Limited Partnership, location northeast of North Heron Drive and to the east of River Point Phase 1. And since there he is. Right, okay. And Cameron, if you'll go ahead and, okay.
The applicants for the final plat of River Point Phase 2 were all for us. We have a representative here in the audience. This is the last final plat that was under the old ordinances where the final plats went back to the commission and board. Now, the preliminary plat comes through the board, commission is administrative. This is one that's under the old ordinance that was applied. Everything, all the comments from staff have been satisfied. They met all the requirements of the application. The final plat does conform to the preliminary plat. Reached out to the public works department. They have acknowledged and approved everything on their behalf. So staff does recommend approval of this final plat for River Point Phase 2.
Okay. And I think we do have a representative for Warlock Family. And if you'd like to step forward and state your name and your address, please, and your comments.
Yes, I'm Crystal Webster, and I'm the CEO of Warlock Associates and the Warlock Family. So we are adding 73 lots to the Vine City of Ozark with this project. Those lots are complete, they're ready to go. The last thing that we're waiting on to get started is approval from this committee as well as the board of Aldermen. So this process for us started, I'm thinking, with the development of these lots, so this process of control, etc. Filter had requested that we release the capacity and sell these lots for actually 2 or 34, which is almost half of these homes are sold. So we have buyers waiting to come occupy these. Next business areas are.
I'll ask the commission for if you had any questions that you'd like to. Questions, comments?
Generally, we would turn over for any public comments, but we don't have anyone in the audience. I believe there's no one on Zoom, so it's ready for the commission to comments, questions, or make a recommendation.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I have one question, and I'm going to be short on this, but I would like to respect this request if there's any plan. You see that to purpose this evening to accelerate the process through the board of Aldermen. I understand it's only a 2-step process that can be consolidated down to a 1-step process. And I would like to respect the request that, and I don't know if you've ever given me email vote, but literally this is the last thing standing between us and the on as soon as possible. Consistently plan with it's not-
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions, comments, commission?
Karen, will you elaborate a little bit more about one-step versus two-step process?
In regards to the commission, the preliminary final plat, or in regards to what she was stating?
What she said?
Yes. So yes, the commission will make recommendation to the Board of Aldermen and is scheduled to go to their meeting in the second meeting in December for the first reading. I will add that staff is planning to ask that the board expedite it into one reading to assist with that. Or sorry, to expedite the second reading to be the second part of that first night. To maybe better clarify that, but yes, we are anticipating requesting the expediting of that into the one evening. Based on this being under the old process, the final plat, the developers have invested all the money into the infrastructure and getting this ready. If you've driven out to the subdivision, it is well established as far as the vegetation. It's a really nice looking subdivision in comparison to some that we've seen in the past that don't have a lot of vegetation established. So yes, staff does recommend that expedition of that first reading. Just a second.
Any other questions?
So the room's already in place. What do you think is the turnaround time once it gets approved? Once the first shovel's in the ground, what are you anticipating for 6 months or?
Oh, 73 lots. So my best guess is 18 to 24, given the weather conditions.
Yeah.
You know, if we could move there for concrete 12 months of the year, it would be 12 to 18, but inevitably there will be one.
Any other questions, comments? Yeah. Yeah, but, okay. If there are no other questions or comments, then we're ready for a motion to approve or to postpone.
We approve the final plat based on the staff findings.
Okay, in a second. And roll call vote, please, Megan.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you. Next is an ordinance amending the municipal code of the city of Ozark, Missouri, chapter 405, relating to the zoning regulations. Ordinance of the city of Ozark, Missouri, amending the municipal code to the city of Ozark, Missouri, chapter 405, establish the general mixed use zoning district. Aaron, do you have any?
Let me pause for just a minute because this makes reference to a mixed use zoning ordinance. And it should be the single family zoning ordinance. I believe that's a typo on the agenda.
Yeah, I didn't see anything regarding it. It's just referred single family. And the changes you guys made.
It looks like that agenda and the new agenda are just combined. So your posting is fine for the sunshine law because the first part of that sentence, there's a period there. And then you see that the word ordinance has been kind of cut off in the middle of that section B. So it looks like the old item was just left on there. So the intent is just to address the 405 chapter regulations generally.
Thank you. So yes, in front of you, as you know, that we've been talking about the single family ordinances, and that's what this revision is related to. There are 63 pages, but keep in mind a lot of the pages are regarding some clarifications made to the existing ordinances just to cover the modifications. So as I say, staff has been working on the single family zoning ordinance as discussed in the past. In summary, staff is proposing two new single family ordinances of RSF 1 and RSF 2. These will replace the existing R1A, B, C, and D ordinances. In addition, the drafter revisions also address revisions to other references or related ordinances. Just to go over some of the highlighted changes through the packet in front of you, on page 2 and 14, under section 1 are the definitions. Staff has added 2 new definitions into the definition sections. Again, it's a fairly lengthy section, but it only has 2 definitions added. On page 18, section 2, 405, established districts. This section will address the new districts that were added and the old districts that are noted as retired. Just to clarify on what retired is, on page 62 under section 16 that we'll address a little later in the ordinance, it clarifies the meaning of that retiring notification. A designation of retired means that it is no longer an allowable zoning district for a zoning application. So we are referencing the older ordinances that are being retired, notifying that they will not be a request for a new zoning application. However, we are leaving those ordinances in the ordinance book just for reference of existing zone property for redevelopment or development of vacant property. So they can still comply to those old zoning districts. However, we won't recognize as a new application for the old zoning districts. On page 19, section 3, section 405, 205, the agriculture zoning district. This is just being placed in the packet or under the amendments just because we've got to renumber this section. Due to the new sections that follows with the RSF 1 and 2, it changes the existing 405 210 to 405 205. Again, no modifications other than adding language to clarify an accessory dwelling unit, which is something new that we've been adding to the single families. And again, most of this information is what you guys have seen in the past meetings. On page 22, section 4, section 405 210, zoning district RSF 1, single family district. This is the new single family district that staff was implementing into the ordinance as we discussed in the past. This requirement of this district will provide a subdivision with a minimum lot size of 8,000 square feet. This will be a similar zoning district if an applicant would choose R1A, B, C, or D with various lot size dimensions. But again, would be kind of that straightforward subdivision. On page 24, section 5, 405 215, that's the second new zoning ordinance that we are adding as RSF 2, which is the enhanced single family zoning district. This is a new single family district that is intended to promote creativity, higher quality, and flexibility in single family subdivisions. There is no minimum lot size. However, there shall be a minimum of 3 lots per acre, but no more than 7 lots per acre. There are noted design requirements such as pedestrian entryways, garage placement on the residential structures, shared driveways as an allowance, coving and road restrictions, common area requirements, sidewalk and trail requirements, and access requirements to the common areas. Again, on common areas, as a subdivision could get larger, there's additional common area requirements that are placed depending on the size of that subdivision. Again, in return to allowing a greater density, the code is asking for additional amenities in a subdivision. Page 34, section 6, section 405 220, zoning district R1A. This again is just noting that that section is all being retired. Page 36, section 7, 405 230, zoning district R1B, again noting that it's retired. Section 8 of section 405 240, R1C, noting that that zoning district is being retired. And then on page 40, section 9, section 405 245, zoning district R1D, again noting that that section is retired. So again, a lot of these pages are just to clarify that we're retiring those zoning sections. On page 42 under section 10, 405 260, zoning district R2, 2-family district. This is just accommodate revisions to make reference to the new single families and omit the existing references that were in there for the old districts that we're retiring. Page 44, section 11, section 405-270, zoning district R3 medium density. Again, to update those references to the new single family districts. Page 45, section 12, 405-380. As staff was going through this revision, we acknowledge that the mobile home zoning district is another one of those that we no longer, permit the approval of that zoning district. And so we're noting that as being retired as well. However, it has always been in our code with the understanding that if the property's got the existing zoning on it, an applicant or the owner can develop it under the mobile home zoning district.
Clarify, so if
Yep.
somebody changed that or put a single family structure, it could never go back.
Yes,
Since it was,
that would require rezoning to accommodate the single family zoning district. And then once that is rezoned to, let's just say RSF1, they will no longer be allowed to come back with an application to request a mobile home zoning district.
it's not even an option.
Yes. And that would be similar to all the ones that were retiring. Page 48, section 13, 405-390, office warehousing zoning district. Again, this is just to make an update to the reference of single family. And then as staff had looked at this ordinance, it was not addressing the C4 central business district reference. So we've added that into this language just for clarification. Page 5, section 14, 405-410, the plan unit development regulations. Again, updating those references to the new single family districts. Page 60, section 15, 405-420 dimensional requirements. Updating the design setback in the charts for referencing the new requirements for the single family RSF1 and RSF2. Page 62, section 16, 405-470, retired zoning districts. This is just a section that we are clarifying what that retired zoning district is. And then the last revision, page 63, section 17, is just the severability clause that we've added in the ordinance. So with that, be happy to address any questions and go through each one of those revisions in details. And staff is looking for a recommendation from the commission. If you guys are willing to send this on to the board, we've addressed all the comments that we received. But again, just happy to answer any of those questions.
Who's on first? You're on.
Cameron, do we have any applications that are in progress that would fall under those zoning districts that are proposed to be retired?
We do not have any in process of making application. We have been talking to applicants though, where they have been looking at the existing zoning district or the new that we've drafted. And they're just kind of juggling their time frame to see if they want to apply now, which they could until this is approved, or wait. Again, it's in their, what we call in their court to make that decision if they want to wait now or go ahead and make application.
Okay, thanks.
I think that was my kind of question too, is like, so assuming this, we recommend and then goes through the 2 readings at the board or the alderman, then once they decide, then everyone's got to come out on this new one. There's no
That's
carryover.
correct.
Okay, that's what I was curious. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? If not, and there's no public discussion, okay. And no one on Zoom, I assume. Okay, close that part of the discussion, public, and then entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the chapter 405 ordinance for the municipal code.
Second, okay, have a second. Do you have a question? Okay. Roll call vote, please, Megan.
Aye.
Hi,
Aye.
Aye. The next item that we have is I'm going to give it back to Cameron, and we're going to talk about next year's schedule.
Yes, in front of you in the packet, we have drafted the calendar for the meetings for next year. If you have any questions, by all means, ask the questions or let us know. But we anticipate proceeding with this calendar as shown in the packet. It's not a calendar that has to be officially approved by the commission, but it is something just based on the application deadlines and given the fourth Monday of the month being the planning zoning meetings, and then the first and second readings or hearings for the Board of Aldermen those are on the first and third Mondays of the month.
Okay.
Happy to answer
Any questions on that? Okay. Then, any commissioners have any comments to make?
Just the staff and things like that. I know you guys have worked really hard on the mixed use and then the other one that we passed through today. So just thank you on behalf of, us, because I know we've kind of thrown curveballs at you guys and kind of said things, and I know you guys have had to go back and change things. So just, we appreciate all your hard work with that.
Yeah, you work a lot harder. We do. Okay. Any other questions? Comments? Okay. Any administrative comments?
Just to reiterate, appreciate the thanks, and it was several departments. It was the planning department, the attorney's department. We've had some feedback from SimCog. We had contracted some things out with them. So it was a well worth effort from several entities in the city. So I appreciate that, and staff is excited to hopefully be bringing some more revisions to you.
Okay.
Question that came up. What's the update on Marabella? Like, is it on the agenda or should I not ask?
So yes, that was what I was catching the folks that came in. That was removed from the agenda, and right now staff does anticipate that being on the December agenda. Some items were not satisfied as far as application to staff, and so we had to remove that from the packet this evening.
Do we think we need a police officer for that? I don't know. I mean, based on our agenda, I don't know.
Not yet. I mean, again, just try not to speak too much about a future application, but we've had 2 people from the public here tonight. It didn't seem like there'd be a large turnout, so.
Okay. Any other comments? Any other administration? You good? Okay. Then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, second, and have a second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 We don't have to have a roll call.